Hey there, guys. So one of the things I'm working on right now is welding up the holes in the bus. Now, as you can imagine, or if you know anything about welding, if you don't, to kind of give you an idea, is that it's a little hard to weld up a hole because it's a hole. And once you get to the edge of a material, if your heat's up too high or anything like that, it'll burn through and make a larger hole. So that's one of the things you have to watch out for. I will say that the little Titan or titanium flux core welder that I got from Harbor Freight. Easy Flux is the model. It's working pretty good, especially for this application. I'm looking forward to see how well it's going to do with the seat steel and fabricating that and reshaping it. So you guys will be with me when I do it. So you'll know when a little after I do it. So one of the things that I'm doing is because you have to grind these down after you weld them, right? So it's got to be flush with the floor. Maybe not so much flush, but certainly it's got to be smoother. You know, because if you're using a foam board for your subfloor, then your weld will crush into that and it'll go flat when you screw it down. But you definitely want to have it rounded, I would say. I want it rounded. That way it doesn't chomp at it and stuff like that, create a void kind of thing. When it smushes into the foam board, I want it to form around that weld the best that it can, if not be flush. So I'm going to grind mine down, smooth them off after I weld all of them up. There's really not too much else to it. Figure out your welder, you know, because you're going to have two settings, especially if you get the one that's like mine to where you can adjust the wire speed. You want to be able to adjust your wire speed. That's how fast the wire is coming out. And then your voltage is how fast or how hot it's burning while you're welding. And of course, the higher it is, the thicker gauge of metal you can weld to, right? So like let's say, so when you're welding, your weld should be hitting the metal and staying there as you're welding. If your heat's up too high and your speed's too low, it'll be like a fuse. Your weld will burn up the wire before the wire even gets close to the surface of the metal. Does that make sense? So in that instance, either turn down your speed or turn down your heat and turn up your speed. And of course, it's all about the gauge of metal that you're welding on. You want to make sure you have good penetration when you're welding some things together. This, it doesn't really matter. You just need to get metal on there to cover up a hole, you know. But yeah, experiment with it. Just keep it in mind, you know, or keep it simple. Don't get too crazy or complicated with it. If you're confused, ask questions, put them in the comment, and I'll do the best I can to answer them. Or you can look up some YouTube videos. They'll give you more in-depth explanation than I will. You know, I can weld. I'm not a welder. That's what I've said for years, even after I've gotten my welding certification through the Ironworkers Union with stick. I can weld anything you want, but I don't think about welding. I'm not, oh, well, this is the best this is the best that. I gotta have this weld. No, I can weld, but I'm not a welder. I'm an ironworker at heart. Anyways, let's get to it.
lines crossed. We're wasting time on stuff that doesn't really matter, while wishing for something better. I try to fix things that weren't broken, misunderstandings and words unspoken. We fall apart, and I won't dare to say, do you feel the same way? Maybe you don't wanna know, but you don't see what you have in front of you. Or maybe I'm not enough for you, so maybe I should go. If I had known from the start, this wouldn't have ended with broken hearts. 'Cause I don't wanna waste my time. Same way, then don't pretend that everything's okay. Don't string me up.
Alright guys, I want to pause this video to talk to you a little bit about welding the holes up. Something I forgot to mention earlier is that they're coated in galvanized. So what that means is you have to be aware of galvanized poisoning. One way to identify galvanized is that there's a white residue that's left over. Another way is that you'll be able to smell it and notice there's something different about it. So you have to be careful of galvanized poisoning. One of the things that iron workers do, and I'm sure a lot of guys who do weld and come across galvanized is that when they go home, they drink milk. Can't tell you, it's just something we've always done. I've welded a lot of galvanized, and I've never got galvanized poisoning. One of the early identifiers for being able to detect whether or not you've really been exposed to galvanized is that you'll have a metallic taste on the tip of your tongue, which I did, and after I got done welding, drink some milk. So just be aware of that. Make sure that you have good ventilation. I'm not a doctor, but I'm just telling you what we've always done in iron work, and I've never gotten galvanized poisoning. I don't play around with it. If I weld galvanized, even if I don't show any symptoms, I drink milk when I get home. So it's something I want you guys to be aware of. And as always, when you're working with something that's especially man-made and there's smoke coming off of it, we're not designed to inhale that, right? So make sure you have good ventilation protection. Me, what can I say, I'm a little hard-headed, and I can take the bad with the good like any other bearded man. But anyways, you guys just be safe.